think there's going to be a better. All still getting there. I can see 1, 2. The G1 from the last well. She's looking down. Think about this.
G'day punters, welcome back to the MacBet NRL betting review show. I'm your host James Milner, and joining me as always is our resident NRL expert Cory France. Cory, how you going, mate? Up and about? You've had a nice little spell camping, no toilet, no internet?
No, that was the toilet, mate, but I made sure I didn't use it. I didn't really want to empty that bad boy out. No, it was a good, nice little Easter trip away, and
and all the chalky eggs have jumped out at the BP on the way home. Yeah, great to see.
Mate, just a few Easter bunnies, all right?
Yeah, just a couple of caramel sort of jobs there. But hey, how about the chockies you got in the results? You've picked up 19 units. You just keep winning. It's kind of unbelievable. 106% pot, 18.5 units out last week. You've rocketed to 61 units in front for the season at 32%. You couldn't be happier with how things are going.
Yeah, no, it's gone pretty good. Even that said, there's a few little hard luck stories there as well. But it's and obviously some ones at nice prices there as well. So we're not just picking out the sub $2 shots. There's a few at decent odds as well.
Absolutely. Well, we'll get into the usual structure we do each week. We'll take a look at each game, how you played. We'll talk about the results, and we'll get your key takeaways from the round after that. Okay, first match of round 6 that we'll be reviewing is the Raiders against the Cowboys. This was Thursday night down in Canberra at GIO Stadium. The North Queensland Cowboys managed to scratch up a win here, winning 18-12 over the Raiders. We didn't have any bets early here on the sheet, but there was a couple of little late things that dropped in here on Discord. Okay, yeah, so Cory from his campsite liked a couple of plays here. Cory, I'll let you talk us through these. Sorry for everyone here. It's a little bit hard to read, but it's just the ones highlighted there in the middle.
Yeah, so a bit of sort of something that caught the eye, but couldn't really put it in a nice, presentable form. But some nice prices come up for Tom Starling there and Chancellor Klokstad. More so Tom Starling, it was as if he was priced as if he was going to be playing with Frawley off the bench. Frawley wasn't playing, and I don't think Xavier Savage was going to be replacing a hooker. So just about 70 to 80 minutes sort of performance expected there, and they were definitely weren't pricing that accordingly. I think I had his play performance priced at around to score around 55, 58, somewhere in that sort of zone there. So getting quite a nice price there. Unfortunately, the Toppy sort of turned that one off pretty quick. We had a few little issues. Someone obviously managed to get on, but we decided not to record the results there. But I think in the end he scored about 76 or something. He scored a try, line break, 50 tackles. So pretty easy sort of watched if anyone did get on that one. In terms of the chance of Klokstad, but he sort of went off after about 66 minutes, had a bit of a slight injury there. It would have been tough for him to still probably catch Holmes in that one, but sort of went down there, so a bit of a tough one. But fast start from the Raiders. I think it was 12-0 up and ended up losing 18-12. Really went to sleep, and Ricky gave him an absolute flogging in the press conference.
Yeah, you love to see it. So just for the record there, we've recorded that bottom bet, but the top two, little bit contentious there. The prices sort of being moved quite quick, and just thought probably not achievable for everyone to get on. But if you did manage to get some pennies on, you've started the round off quite well. Second match of the round here, it's the Rabbitohs and the Bulldogs on Friday afternoon. South Sydney absolutely wiped the floor with the Bulldogs here, winning 36-16. Just the one play on Luke Thompson here, $6 tab, most tackles, Cory.
Yeah, nice little one there you sent out as a free tip as well. So nice little collect. He ended up with the most tackles for the match as well, 55. Yeah, Rabbitohs too convincingly there. No Latrell, but still too good. So it's sort of one where I think I had him probably getting about 55, 60 minutes with the bench rotation that they had in place. In the end, he ended up having about 68 minutes and 55 tackles in that time period. So even well above expectation there, and pretty easy watch, especially at nice little $6 group tackles, group most tackles price there. So nice one to kick off Good Friday.
Absolutely, yeah, and 1 unit bet. We're all very happy with that. Okay, the Friday night match was the Panthers up against the Broncos. The Panthers got up here 40-12. I stuck my head in the sand, didn't even bother watching my beloved Broncos. I knew they were going to get pumped. Sounds like they didn't play too bad. We had the half unit on Tessie New, most meters, 550 tab. He might have gone off injured, I have heard, Corey.
Yeah, he went off just before half time there, so that was sort of dead in the water there. He was actually travelling quite nicely, scored an early try and put the Broncos on the front foot early. They started strong and still in the end couldn't even cover the line in the end. They went in 40-14, a bit of a contentious one to finish the game, but Penrith too good. But yeah, Tessie sort of a bit stiff there, 550, nice little handy price. Sort of a weak, I guess, group, most meters sort of market there. I generally wouldn't take it. The underdog, so heavily in a situation like that, but got a nice little price there and just a bit unfortunate in the end.
And next week, Broncos, Bulldogs. I can see the Broncos have come up early, $1.65 favourite. Do you think we can win?
Oh, I think it's. I think on early look, it was probably about spot on. I was tempted to hopefully get involved in Brisbane if they come up about even money, but yeah, probably bookies got it about right there. I think early on. So
a bit too short. We'll keep an eye out during the week. Saturday afternoon match was the Sea Eagles and the Titans at Four Pines Park. Manly Sea Eagles got the wood here, 26-18 over the Titans. Not bad from them, a little 8-point margin. And we just had the 1 unit here on the Sea Eagles minus.
Yeah, it's sort of noticing a little growing trend even heading into this week as well. That bookies real heavily against Manly, or especially on the numbers that I've got with Turbo out. But in this case, I thought 5.5. It's a nice little number. If you're on about 6.5, it's probably a no play. So getting the converted try or less than the converted try there definitely was worth the 1 unit. They got off to a very fast start, and despite a bit of a late comeback from the Titans there, the 8 points was enough in the end.
Was that the $2 promo line, or they just had it actually at $2?
No, that was just the early line there at $2. So I think your $2 promo line's at toppy there, probably about 2 hours out, something like that. But yeah, I think it was on the way to shifting towards 5 there. So they had a nice little price at $2. So.
Ladbrokes Neds, $2 lines, little promo there. Anyway, I'm just going to give that a little cheeky plug. Saturday night matchup was the Storm and the Sharks at Amy Park. The Melbourne Storm saluted 34-18 over the Sharks. We had the 1 unit on the overs, 37.5.
Yeah, it's another Melbourne home game for them, and I think they got another one again this week, and I think another one in a couple of weeks. So pretty good start, and I guess that's why we're on them in the early futures bets as well. But it wasn't a game that sort of was trending towards the overs, but I guess two good sides, both strong starts to the season. They tend to downplay the totals on these sort of games, but still had it about, I think it's about 39 or close to 40 almost on my numbers, and took the overs there. Wasn't trending early on, but got there pretty comfortably with some Munster magic in the second half there. So nice little 1 unit play there got up for us on the late Saturday game. I bet to you.
Sunday afternoon was the Roosters and the Warriors at the SCG. Sydney Roosters finished up on top, winning 22-14 over the Warriors. So not the worst effort there from the Warriors, but no early bets here from us.
Yeah, the Warriors got off to a fast start there and really put the pressure on the Roosters. And it looked like they were potentially in line for an upset there. But in the end, the Roosters were just too strong in the end. Quite a few changes in that original lineup there. But, definitely no bets here. Looked for some late ones, but still couldn't find any grouse stuff there. But we'll move on to the later Sunday game.
Okay, the late Easter Sunday match was the Dragons and the Knights at Wynn Stadium. St. George managed to get the wood here, winning 21-16 over the Knights. We've had an absolute stack of bets here. The first 3 red ones in the italics ones Corey had during the week, and then the black ones are the later plays, which came about, half an hour before the kickoff, Corey?
Yeah, about half an hour before, and this is the sort of game that could have sent me in the Brisbane River if it was probably trending the way results were going early days last year. But fortunately, with how they've been going, I can cop this one on the chin. But Yeah, a bit of a tough luck story. Obviously, 20 all, a few minutes to go, and the Dragons too good. And to rub salt in the wound, Lomax with a somewhat easy conversion to cover the total there, and that was waved wide as well. So bit of a stiff one there, but we managed to have a bit of a chop out in the end with results. The DeBell and Saifidi under 86.5. One of those sort of correlation plays there where if one's going to score well, the other one's going to not score well, and obviously with both totals there sort of factoring a little bit lower than a bit higher than what I would have thought they were going to be. So yeah, it was a pretty comfortable watch there. Saifidi come off the bench as well. The Bradman Best one there in the most meters, sort of a nice little price there. It wasn't a market that I exactly thought he was going to necessarily be the better of the three, but probably quite equal in terms of all three. And when you get a bit of a handy price there, it was worth the play. And he actually had a pretty good game. So comfortable one there. Tariq Sims was actually the losing bet out of those lot. Didn't really play the sort of game that I thought he would, and in the end, he was actually quite low in the tackles altogether. It was about 20 or something. So well under, cop the beat there, but yeah, nice little, I guess, a chop out in the end with the other two bets getting up. So
For sure, and yeah, do we want to talk about the other few early plays? Had the Knights head to head, a little bit stiff. What was the score? Did you say?
Yeah, so in the when betting first got opened up, I think Knights were actually about 250. The line was about 4.5, probably even 6.5 up to at some other places. I probably would have released them at those, but it was a bit too early and it come in a little bit. So yeah, I took the plus 4.5. Obviously, that's looking like it might still salute when the field goal gets kicked, and then yeah, late Dragons try to rub salt in the wounds and lose by 5. So that was a tough pill to swallow. But yeah, I guess it doesn't help when I think Clune was ruled out just before game time as well. So that was sort of put a bit of a dagger towards that bet. But yeah, I still thought the Knights were the better side out of this lot, and probably should have got the Chockies, just not good enough in the end.
Okay, the Easter Monday matchup, the Eels versus the Tigers at Combank Stadium. It's a bit of a surprise here. Tigers managed to salute. They've got to get about $10 out there. I think they've only just scraped home by 1 point, 21-20 over the Eels. Corey, that might be one of the longest head-to-head prices we've seen this year, and it's actually saluted.
Definitely I think the second or third biggest in terms of head-to-head prices, but definitely the largest and probably the largest for the year that actually gets up. And I don't even think something of this price got up last year. So yeah, anytime they get out to lines this big, they generally they don't stick. And yeah, you can make full excuse for anyone that wanted to sort of use the Eels as a multi-banker there. But no, with Hastings coming back, Laurie back on the side, and a few little other changes here and there, they were really up to it, and they really put the pressure on the Eels. I haven't really rated the Eels much in much of their performances this year, but still thought they were going to do enough to get the win here. But I did think Tigers might be up for a bit early on, so we took the first half line bet there, and that was a pretty easy watch, I guess, in the end. But even after that, you'd think the Eels were going to roll over the top of them. They even took a late lead in the second half and couldn't hang on there. Had a few little play performance bets there, and got a bit lucky with a bit of an asterisk hanging over it. So Luke Brooks, I sort of mentioned in the Discord there that it was priced as if Hastings was going to be doing the kicking. I didn't sort of understand 100% why that might have been the case. I think it was in game 2. He had one kick, but that was because Brooks had sort of left the field. In the end, Brooks did do the kick except for one goal early in the second half. So that said, he had 2 early try assists, and it was a pretty easy watch on that front there at a nice little 450 price there with 1 unit on.
Very nice.
Regan Campbell Gillard, the most meters market. I really don't know why this was so high. He's probably one of the best props when it comes to making easy meters. He always seems to take a lot of kickoffs, things like that. So that said, he went off injured probably midway through, not even midway through the second half, with an ankle injury, and was ruled as if he wasn't coming back. And yeah, it was sort of looking like he was going to just get swallowed up. In the end, he held on. But yeah, sort of differing sources as to who actually had the most meters in that market. But at this stage, looks like the $6 at 2 units is sort of held. The often Gowie bet most tackles. I thought he'd have a lot more early on. It looked like this was going to get easily rolled, but in the end, he had a late flurry with the Eels sort of heaping on a late pressure. $3.10. It was a dead heat in the end with Papali there. So $1.55 at the 1 unit, not the $3.10 unfortunately, but it's still a pretty handy result for Monday.
And pretty much, yeah, well, a clean sweep just about, collecting on all bets. So there's a couple of different sources there for the Regan Campbell Gillard. I think we said some of the subscribers said they got paid. I think you might not have. I'm not 100% across it, but yeah, what's the go there? Is there just a couple of different?
Yeah, so I guess the way stats are done, they basically get someone's marking them off all the time as the game kicks on, but to obviously improve the legitimacy and the accuracy of it, they have to have people that go and rewatch the game afterwards. Prior to the game finishing, he was on, I think, 152, 153, something like that, and then Gutho was on about 140 something. So normally margins that big still hold up and there's no issues, but then I'm seeing sort of later last night, it was Gutho had gone to about 160, but then on that basis, it would be a losing bet. And then, yeah, some sources are still showing 142. And like you said, some subscribers mentioning that getting paid, blah, blah, blah. So, if you
get paid, got to be happy with that. That'll do.
That's the main thing. And if you have, definitely keep quiet. Hopefully, none of the bookies are watching this video. So,
ooh, keep an eye out. All right, too good. Okay, that sums up our review of what was a profitable round of NRL. Really good there, picking up 19 units for you, Corey, and there's a couple of little hard luck stories too, so it could have been even bigger. So like we always do, what were your key takeaways out of the round looking forward?
Yeah, so we're getting down to the sort of nitty-gritty heading into that origin sort of period. As sort of suspected, the good sides are continuing on that trend and really shortening up in the futures there. The worst sides are doing likewise. So sort of you notice the cream sort of really rise to the top at this time of year, and obviously as teams sort of have to rest a few players heading into Origin and that, they definitely want to make sure there's some runs on the board there. I guess the other thing is, in terms of getting grip on these sort of games and getting a far better understanding of how we sort of position ourselves for each game outside of those player markets. So we've obviously had quite a few totals bets this year, and they have trended in our way. So I think it's about 68% of all of them have lobbed, and in some of those circumstances where we had doubles, where like margins into totals or lines into totals, they've trended our way as well in terms of the total side. We've just been a bit unlucky with the margin one. So definitely getting a good grasp on the model in terms of how it spits out and how it sort of perceives these sort of games. So that's going well for us there. But hopefully, obviously, now that we get a bit more expansive footy and sort of the rules are sort of opening up and the way the games are going, teams are sort of starting to realise that they're no chance for the finals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Should be our opportunity to really take advantage, especially in some of those player performance markets. They're priced accordingly as if how sort of average stats and things like that. But in terms of the player performance model that I use, it takes into account a lot of things of who's expected to dominate and stuff like that. So a lot of advanced analytics that go into it, and hopefully it's our chance to really capitalise on it coming in the coming weeks. So.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the Origin period's coming up. Are you going to have an Origin set across there? I don't remember. I think they usually do open up pretty good on the player performance markets, and judging by how well the season's been this year, I'm assuming we're going to get it all again.
Yeah, so last year it was probably the first time we actually got to see any all year, and then obviously towards the end of last year, I think a few started to open up late on some of the those tab grouped most tackles, group meters sort of markets.
Yep.
And then obviously around finals time, but from memory, 2 years, 3 years ago, these are generally the sort of markets that you can tend to get some sort of lopsided situations where I think there was an example where I think GI was playing fullback at club and then in the centres for Origin and like he was getting priced like he was still playing at fullback. I'm sure the bookies aren't going to be that silly when it comes to these situations, but I still feel like we're going to get a far better opportunity to pick off some nice prices in these sort of markets as opposed to the club games where positions tend to not change too much. So, for example, you're going to see the likes of potentially like your Jack Whitens and Tommy Turbos and players like that playing well out of position. So we could get some nice pick-off chances and some nice to really unload the wallet and chuck a few units on.
Absolutely. We might even have a couple of preview videos there. But guys, if you want to get involved in Corey's NRL service, just head to macbet.com.au/NRL and use the discount code trial5. You'll get a $5 first week, and then it'll revert back to the $50 per week after that. It's been absolutely filling up. Hopefully you can cover the cost of your subscription there, back a few winners with us, and chat with us in the Discord. But Corey, as always, thanks for your time, mate. Thank you for your insights. We'll hear from you next week, and we'll eagerly await your next plays.
No worries, mate. Chat again next week.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.